Hey, man, you don't mind if I play through, do you?
Sure can. Welcome to Playing Through.
All right, everybody, welcome back to Playing Through, sponsored by Move Faster Golf. We are here with another special guest today, Midland native. We got a Dow High graduate, a Wisconsin graduate, and a Wisconsin golf team member, 2021 Michigan Woman Amateur Champ, 3-time Golf Associated Michigan Player of the Year in running, so 3 times straight, and 2023 USGA Mid Am Champion, Kim Dinh.
Hey.
Welcome, Kim.
Yeah, welcome.
Thanks, guys.
Welcome.
Thanks for having me.
No problem.
No, thank you.
Appreciate you coming.
This is the most golf we've had in this room since we started the podcast.
We said easily the best player. I mean,
By far.
But let me say real quick, all these accomplishments, Kim, Dino, let's tell her. Last year he was the first half champion of his Tuesday night league. Just saying.
That's the important thing.
Hey, and what did I tell you before we started this? The reigning 2-man scramble champ at Bucky.
Exactly. So I mean, your stuff is nice, Kim, but let's recognize this.
That's
Jimmy
the real
Holt,
accomplishment.
Jim Holton, you and I, buddy.
So, what do you got first? Dino?
First of all, let's talk a little bit about you. Now we know the accomplishments. How did you get into golf, and what keeps you playing?
Yeah. So I started playing when I was 7.
Oh my.
So I've been playing a long time. My dad caught the bug when he was like 40. His brother, my uncle, started playing, so he had him try it. He liked it. Had all of us try it. Older brother and mom hated it, so they stopped very quickly. But my younger brother and I, we kept playing, and so that's what we did during our summers. So
just a one sibling.
So my younger brother and I kept playing.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
So you have more than one sibling?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Older
gotcha.
brother did not enjoy it.
Oh, okay.
So.
Perfect. Gotcha.
Yes.
Normal. So let's talk about, I mean, first and foremost, we listed some accomplishments. 2021 Michigan Women's Amateur Champion. What was that like? I mean, obviously you've knocked on the door before. Was it the year or two before you were knocking on the door? Yeah. So tell us about that.
Gotten close. So in 2020, got to the semis, and then that was the first time I had played in the Michigan Am since like 2014. And,
really? Yeah.
And in 2014, also got to the semis. And, you know, when I came back to playing, that was probably high on the bucket list of like unfinished things. Felt like I could get this done, but hadn't done it yet.
Yep.
But I actually really got into 2021 event with 0 expectations.
Yeah,
and just kind of, you know, it was the first week I was taken off of work for the year, or maybe the second week. And so just went out and played and enjoyed it. And I mean, just kept going, and it was like, you know, playing good golf.
It's almost all of a sudden it's like it's in the adult is you got full-time job and it's like a different a different situation, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, definitely enjoy it. I'm taking vacation to go play, so I'm not gonna, still get pissed off about a bad shot, but
exactly.
like let it go. Enjoy being out.
So for people who don't know, like our listeners, it's a stroke play. Is it 1 or 2 days of stroke play?
2 days.
2 days.
Yep.
And it's the top 32?
Yep.
Top 32 women, and then you just do a match play, and bang, bang, bang. So semis is basically final four. Yeah, final four. So that's impressive itself. So the year before was final four.
Yep.
And then 2021 championship match. Ching, ching.
Yep. Got it done.
Awesome.
And then just decided to add the other 2 on just for fun. Right? Just take
the other two, the GAM Player of the Year.
Just adding all that on. Right?
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we know about the women's Am. What about the USGA Mid Am? Even a little bit bigger accomplishment. How about that?
A lot bigger.
Yeah, a lot bigger. Where did you play? And tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so that was last fall the U.S. Open will be at Lancaster. Yeah. This was at Stonewall Links on their north course, right outside of Philadelphia. So it's in Elverson, Pennsylvania. Really cool course. Tom Doak design. Greens have tons of movement in them, lots of undulations and contours. So you could have some interesting putts if you weren't putting it in the right spot. But again, kind of went into this one again with no expectations. Was playing well, but just wanted to go in and play with, just enjoy it and see how far I could go. Had done well the last couple years and had gone. See, the first time I played it was 2021, got to the round of 16. 2022, got to the quarters. So, was doing a little bit better every time, and so just kept playing.
So how many times had you played in the Mid-Am before that then?
This was my third time.
Okay. So people who don't know what the Mid Am is 25 and older, in which that pretty much just separates, obviously the college kids and everything else, but it's 25 and older. You at this point you've got a full-time job most of the time, whatever. It's not just about golf all day every day, right?
Yep. Yep. It was a lot. The USGA championships now, it's a lot more golf than I'll typically ever play in a week besides that. Yeah.
So the big news with that is with that win, a very big accomplishment. You are going to be playing in this coming up summer's U.S. Women's Open, which is totally awesome. So tell us about the preparation for that. What's all consists of that?
Yeah, so I've hit the gym harder this winter just to get healthier, strengthen my right leg and ankle since I broke it last year skiing. So
really? Nice.
yeah, so a little bit of a comeback tour last year. So yeah, a lot of gym, been hitting a lot more golf balls inside than I typically otherwise would, and working on some swing changes at the same time.
Swing changes.
Yeah.
Tell me more. We want to know about that.
All right, now that's a new open there, right?
Yeah. My tendency has always been I don't transfer and in the transition get to my right side quick enough.
And she's
so
left-handed, so people are the right side. I do that. No, she's left-handed. She's left-handed, so it's a little
right-hander. That's us.
Right. Yeah. Dino gets to his right side, but he's right-handed.
Stays there.
Stays there.
So just trying to make sure I get to my right side a little faster.
Sure.
Better compression, and then chasing a little bit of distance and speed.
It's funny. I'll tell the story. So a couple years ago, when you were in the studio, when I had Stu, we put you on the TPI, or not TPI, but the K-Vest, and just looking at some different numbers. And one of the things you had said, you're like, well, if anything, I would like to hit it a little bit farther. And one of the things we had pointed out is like, well, the way your one arm come off your, I was like, well, Kim, this could add a little bit of speed, but she's a very accurate player. She hits a hybrid straighter than we hit sand wedges. So
Keith was talking about that. We were back a few minutes ago.
Right.
He says, yeah, she would hit her hybrid better than you're hitting that wedge, straighter than you're going to hit that wedge.
So that being said, is like, well, to chase speed, we might be playing with fire a little bit to your accuracy. So how do you try to balance that exactly? Who's your swing coach? You got a swing coach?
Yeah, Kyle Martin. So he's the head pro at the Fortress, and he was just named Coach of the Year. For
Michigan?
Yep.
Perfect. That's awesome.
Michigan PGA.
So what exactly do you do? Any speed programs or anything?
A little bit of speed program, working with a trainer this year just to get stronger overall and fitter, a little bit of that. And then, just not being afraid to actually go after the ball.
Yeah. That's the first,
I'm always afraid to go after the ball. The outcome is scary.
Yeah, can be.
Downright, flat out scary. Well, we talked about all these great accomplishments. Let's talk about something a little closer to home. Last year, Great Lakes Bay Invitational, now the Dow Championship. You and your partner making the cut. How about that for a little pressure at home?
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun. So paired up with Jasmine Lee. She got the call at the beginning of the week or right before, about a week out, since we were both alternates, had played in the qualifier in June. And so we didn't win it, but she got the call and asked me if I wanted to pair up. And it was like, absolutely. We put together a good round and alternate shot, and then made a birdie early in the best ball on the second round. But we didn't have much going, but we knew we needed to make some birdies, and kind of got it going for the last 6-7 holes. Both of us hit a few close, rolled in a couple putts that we got inside the cut line. So that was fun.
Unfortunately, as an amateur, you're still no paycheck.
No paycheck. No.
Did you even want to look at it and be like, I don't care? We just like,
I looked at it afterwards and I'm like, that was a lot of work for that paycheck would have been. Right. I'm glad I'll keep my
exactly. Keep the amateur status for sure. I know.
I like my own.
So what did you guys end up finishing?
37th.
Okay, not bad at all. No. Pretty good. I mean, just making the cut. Obviously, you see some of the big names that are going home too.
Sure.
Yeah.
And it's such a fun event, obviously.
Well, and not knowing till a week before as alternates coming in, make the cut, finishing in the top 50. That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
So, and just kind of veering off of the discussion a little bit, when it comes to you're out there, you're playing with some, LPGA, obviously big names we all know. What's the biggest difference just from what you've, from college golf to being a, accomplished player in general? What's the biggest differentiator in your opinion?
The short game is really good.
It's usually always a short game, right?
Yeah. But in general, even from college to that level, it's just their consistency. Their misses are a lot smaller, and a lot of that is it's their full-time job, so they're practicing all the time, right? So that's what they're investing their time in.
Yeah.
Whereas we don't.
So just
necessarily
misses
have
are
that.
just like unlike Dino's misses. Is that what you're saying?
Likely. I'm not going to comment, but
No. Oh, feel free.
I've never seen it, so can't comment. But yeah, usually they're keeping it on the planet. It would help, right?
Dino keeps most of them on the planet.
Okay.
Well, on the planet? Is that what you're keep most of them in the planet? Yeah.
So as far as like, I mean, just veering off on it, when it comes to golf in general, like you've been playing a long time now, we talked about that. What has been like, anything stick out to you, whether it's new rules, equipment type, anything that's just kind of been, here we are 20 years later after I first started this game that just stands out to you that you want to just speak of? Anything come to your mind?
I think the big thing, well, one thing that stands out is that you see it even now. It's just like everybody's gotten faster and longer.
Yes.
The distance has picked
Yeah,
up and
exactly.
it's changed. And I feel like I'm strong enough. I can do this, but it's still hard to find that speed after playing for so long. It's just a different mindset to that.
And being so accurate.
Yeah.
That's the one thing, because a lot of the stuff I've read and been a part of, they're saying a lot of these juniors coming up, they're teaching them speed first. Just hit as far, hit it hard, and we can straighten it out later.
Yeah.
It's always been the opposite of what it used to be.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I know when I started, no one would ever tell you to try and hit it as far as you can. It was about keeping it in the parameters, right? Keep it inside, keep it in play. Everybody hits so damn far now.
Oh, yeah.
And the pros just start mashing it. I mean, like you said, female pros.
Yeah,
Like,
everyone
they're
is.
just mashing it.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So, now that we got you on the couch and a high-level amateur player, what do you see maybe in other amateurs that, from a swing flaw perspective or a swing, something in their swing, what are the things that you note or see in other amateurs?
They try to do too much, honestly.
Hey, been there. What do you mean by too much exactly? Just
Like trying to kill the ball, or they have way too many swing thoughts in their head. And honestly, if you're not practicing, just like feel one thing and just go with it. And whatever you're feeling that day, just ride whatever ball flight you're going with, and then just play it. So yeah, there's only so much you can do if you're not practicing. So, but in general, to get better, like a lot of people's fundamentals, they just suck.
yeah, exactly. Well, it's always fundamentals first.
Yep.
And I tell the story all the time. If I go give a beginner a lesson, I have them grip the club and obviously stance and set up, and I say, now you are doing that as good as Tiger Woods is or as good as Lexi Thompson is. But obviously when they make a swing, it changes real quick.
Yeah.
But you can set up and be fundamental as anybody is for the setup and posture and stance and stuff.
Yeah. So, I mean, we're always hitting it still and doing our checks on that, and it's always going back to fundamentals. At least when I get off, it's usually something like, oh, your alignment sucks right now.
Yeah, right. So I seen, obviously with, we're at Curry in the back range a lot, and I've seen you working with some of the high school teams and stuff like that. So what is that? You just volunteer your time and kind of knowledge and stuff?
Yeah, a little bit. And then I like working with them more on short game. And it's always, you can see all of their potential, and it's like sometimes they just need to put the time in.
Sure.
And some of it you have to do on your own
100%.
too. And it's just a lot of reps.
I see Kim out there. She's carrying the bucket out there, and she's going out there with about 50, 60 yards, kind of getting it in the grass. That's your target, right?
Yeah.
And no, everybody's just, when it comes to short game or anything, nobody has enough like sharpness in their short game practice. Does that make sense? I mean, that's my opinion.
Yeah, you can always dial it in and focus on those targets, and it can always get narrower in that dispersion.
Next time we're out there, Dino, we're going to be taking the bucket out
we'll
there.
wheeling it out there. I saw this great thing on social media. It was exactly the guy saying, I'm going to go work on my short game. And they show him he takes like 2 wedge shots. Next third shot, he's got his driver out. Just
Right,
flailing
smacking
away.
it.
It's so, I think you're right. We've always said before, too, and a lot of people have been on here, they'll tell you, if you want to score in golf, it's your short game. Get out there and get really good at it.
Yeah. I mean, that'll save you strokes 100%. I mean, to consistently drop scores, I think, and strokes on average, you've got to hit more greens. That's the easiest way.
Yeah.
So swing changes take time, but on the day-to-day and save those strokes, short game and putting.
100%. It was funny, it's like maybe a year and a half ago now, I had a high school girl, and her top score at the time, I think, was like a 49. And we went out and played a playing 9-hole lesson, and she shot a 49. She tied her best round, but I kept all the stats. She had 22 putts. Think about that.
Yeah.
She had 22 putts. I mean, she could have easily shot a 45 if she just two putted some of those holes. It's like, wow. I mean, think about that.
Who putts, right? You go to a driving range, you just wail away at golf balls. I mean, that's pretty normal. Ask
Putting
your
green. That's where you need to hang out.
I agree, 100%. Old heavy hands here, flailing around.
Those 4, 5, 6 footers
Brutal.
never gets less stressful, but those are the big ones.
Well, now people don't understand if they actually playing by the rules, whether it's, every single rule from the tee to the green or, more importantly, putting everything out. These can be nervy.
Oh, yeah.
These 14-inch putts can be nervy sometimes. Have you ever missed any footers?
Oh,
1 footer?
absolutely.
Exactly.
For, you lose focus and you do stuff. And then, so I hadn't played in any state tournaments until 2020 again. And so first hole at the Michigan Mid Am, I had signed up for this kind of on a lark. And I've got these 3 or 4 footer on the first hole. And I'm like, well, missed that one. And I had the same length coming back. And I'm like, let's just get this in the hole and get out of here.
Exactly.
The worst feeling, worst feeling in the world. Your first putt, your second putt's further than the first one.
Yeah.
Or the same distance. You're like, oh.
Well, all right, Kim. Well, we can get you out of here, and just wanted to come. We wanted to actually come in and talk to, obviously a high-level player, player from our hometown, a player that's going to be playing in the U.S. Women's Open this year, and hopefully you're going to try to get back into the Dow this year.
Yeah.
What's that process like?
So there's an amateur qualifier at the beginning of June. So kind of up in the air right now if I play in it, because it's right after the U.S. Open.
Yeah.
So kind of got to see what's going on at work and all of that if I can make it work.
That's what we call day job. So
Yeah.
This whole life thing gets in the way of your golf game.
It totally does.
Just totally messes it up.
So as far as that, Kim, anybody listening wants to keep track of you, see how you're doing it, any type of social media handles that you like to call out or anything?
Yeah, my Instagram, Kim Possible 10123.
Kim Possible 10123.
Yep.
Awesome. Okay, guys, you heard it there. So follow her on Instagram. She posts a lot of stuff. You post a lot of practice stuff too, and what you're working on too.
Sometimes.
Okay.
It's a little bit of everything.
Okay, gotcha. Kim Possible
10123.
Well, we'd like to thank Kim for coming on today.
Yes. Thank you, Kim, so much. MFers, good to see you back.
Thanks, everyone, for sticking around and hearing what we had to blab about here at Playing Through.
And remember, if you want to become an official MFer, please like and subscribe.